Hello, everyone. Welcome to World Card Making Day. Woohoo! What a fabulous day it is to be celebrating our card making. Today, I am doing my Christmas card class on my page so that we can celebrate together. Excuse me. So we can celebrate World Card Making Day together. I'm just going to refresh my page here so I can see the comments. Here, let's see here, refresh, make sure I come up on my computer too. I hope everyone is having a great Saturday morning. Okay, let's see here. Oh, here we go. Great. Okay, I knew I need to do some adjusting, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. There we go. Okay, I think I got it so you can see everything. Okay, today we are going to be making 4 cards using the beautiful Poinsettia Petals stamp set and their frame dies. They are called poinsettia dies. And we're also going to be using some of this beautiful designer series paper. Goodness, excuse me, that goes along with this suite. It is so pretty. We are actually going to be using 3 of these different papers today. Plus, the best thing about this paper is it is part of the Stampin Up Designer Series paper sale that's going on this month. And you can get this at 50% off. Not 50, 15. Sorry, 15% off. And also there are other Designer Series paper too. If you go to my stampinup.com blog, you will see them on there. But they are also, you have some from the annual catalog, some from the holiday catalog. We have Christmas paper, artistry paper, the Forever Greenery, which is fabulous. And then we have the, let's see, there's the pet ones in here, playing with patterns. Oh, and good taste, the beautiful, beautiful wood pattern paper. So don't forget to go check that out. But so everyone that ordered a kit, you got also a little treat. On all of my classes, whether it's in person or online, I always make a little treat. This one says a little treat for someone sweet, and I just put in a little Kit Kat bars in there. And I use some of the Designer Series paper that we are actually going to be using on a card. So let's go ahead and get started with our projects. Okay. So for our first project today, we are going to be making, let me grab it. Okay, you are going to want to grab your kit that has the long piece of, let me see here. Yes, we want the long piece of white. This is the one we want. Sorry, I'm setting things up here. So we want the long piece of white on this one. Oh my goodness, I'm dropping everything today. Oh my goodness, come on. There we go. All right, so you should have, my gems are going flying everywhere. This is too funny. Okay, so you're gonna have your long piece of white that is cut at 4 1/4 by by 11. And I scored this at 5 1/2 and 2 3/4 because we're going to be doing an easel card. And let me show you the beautiful card that we're gonna be making. And here is our card. I'm trying to make sure you can see this. It's going to set up like this, but this is what it will look like when you put it in your envelope. I'm going to make sure I'm down far enough here. Okay. So this is what will be in when you put it in your envelope. How pretty. And then they can set it up. It'll go like that. And then you have place to write right here if you want to, or just sign your name down here. So when they look at the card, they know who it's from. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to make, that's our first card we're going to make today. So getting back to the measurements again, this is 4 1/4 by 11. I scored it at 2 3/4 and 5 1/2. My real red, I cut out using our stitch rectangle dies. And this is about 4 1/4 by 5 1/4. This is going to be this section right here. And the stitching is beautiful. Just a little something to this card. Now I will say with this card, excuse me. With this card, I did not design this card. I saw it online and fell in love with it. So I knew I needed to make it. Let me quick get a drink. Not sure what's going on today. Then you're going to have a piece of Whisper White that is 3.5 by 4 7/8. This is the beautiful paper. I used it also on our treat box. We're going to cut this at 3 3/8 by 4 3/4. And then our gold foil is at 1.5 by 2.5. Our Whisper White, I got this at, okay, that's not right because it says 3.5 by 4 7/8, and that's that piece. I didn't write this down. Let me grab my ruler because I have my other grid paper. I don't have the one with measurements. You would need a piece about 2 by 3 1/4 to cut this out. Again, I also use the stitch framelit dies, stitch rectangle dies on that one. Then I cut out 2 of the poinsettia leaves, one in red, one in big one little one, and also the gold scrap piece of gold for, I don't know, I guess they're supposed to be holly berries. And then the leaves. For this card, we're going to do 1 big leaf and 2 leaves. And one thing I do want to show you a little trick of, excuse me, I am so sorry about this. I did a thing all day last Saturday from 9 to 5 and had no problems. And I'm having issues this morning. That's my kind of day. But I want to show you a trick with these dies. When you use these dies to make the poinsettia petals, they come in, this cuts the outside, and this embosses the inside. So when I was cutting these, now I was prepping for 40 cards at a time. So I had to cut out 40 of each of these for just this card. So what I needed to come up with an easy idea, something easier than trying to just, I put it down here like this, and then I'm putting it in here. Whoops, let's see if we get this, goes this way. So instead of sitting there moving this around every time, making sure it's right, what I did was I took a piece of Post-it note tape and I taped it like this. So then they're together. I could just pick it up, move it, pick it up, move it. Now, when I also used the little one, I would line them up. Then I would put a piece of tape along both of them. So I literally would pick 2 of them up, move them over to the next piece. And that saved a lot of time. So that's just a little tip for you when you use these, if you're going to do multiples. And usually at Christmas time, we do multiples. So that's just a little something for you. Okay, so let's go back to our card. First thing we're going to do is, I want to make sure this is in the screen so you can see it. First thing we're going to do is, let's go ahead and burnish our cardstock. We're going to fold it in half like we normally do. The mountain is in the inside. So we're going to fold that piece in half like that. And then the piece that has the score mark here, you're going to take that and you're going to fold it back towards the center, towards your crease, the folded part here. So your paper should look like this. See, get both of those in there. So your paper should look like this when you are done folding it. Once you're done folding it, just take it and set it off to the side because we're done with that for a little bit. We're not going to use that to the end now. So let's go ahead and put together our pieces. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the white onto the red. Okay, I'm going to try to see. Oh, I got comments. Yay. Hi, Pam. Thank you for joining. Good morning, Veronica. Thank you for joining. Oh, my goodness. I do not know what my issue is today. All right. Now put your designer series paper. It's also this, if you like that side better, you can use that side. What's nice about that is you can use either side of our designer series paper. It's so pretty. Now these have narrow lines on them. So you're not going to have a big border around the white in the designer series paper. Now, to put my, oh my gosh, poinsettia. I'm sitting here going flower, and I know it's a flower, but it's a poinsettia. You could use a glue dot, or I just put a little bit of adhesive right there, just in the center, because what you're going to do is you're going to turn it a little bit to fill in those gaps. So you don't want it right on top. You want to fill in those gaps. So you just lay it on there. And I'm just twisting to make sure all my gaps are filled and push. Now I'm going to put a dimensional on the back of that because I want this to pop. So I'm going to go ahead and actually attach this to my card right away. Which you're going to say, why already? Well, you'll see why we're going to put this on already. So we're going to put that in the center and just push it down. Now, I'm going to get out my silicone craft sheet because I don't want to mess on my grid paper when I put my adhesive on it because I'm only going to be putting adhesive on the bottom part. So I'm going to go ahead and just put adhesive on the bottom sections. These you could actually go all the way up on the leaves. And it's sticking to me. And then for the hollies, I just do the bottom stem here. If you want to put some on the berries themselves, you can. I don't because I kind of like that they lift up a little bit. I just like that look. So it's up to you. It's your card. So then I'm going to take the leaves and I'm just going to stick them under here. That's why I pop the poinsettia because it's easier to slip them in. Now I'm not pressing them down yet because I want to make sure they're where I want them before I adhere it tight. So I put 2 up here and I put 1 down here. And you know what? On this card, I put these behind my leaf and I kind of like that. So I'm going to put this on first. And then I'm going to stick my leaf over that. There. I like that look. And now I can press it down. Okay. So we can go ahead. You know what? Let's wait on that. We're going to do our stamping next. And then we'll finish this. Remember I was telling you issues with my gem? Okay, it kept popping off. This had 3. I'm down to 1 and it's half off. So I got to be careful with that. I think it's going to be one of those days, ladies. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to stamp this right here. It's called New Magic and Wonder for the holiday. And we're going to use Real Red. The 2 colors we'll be using today are Real Red and Early Espresso. Whoops. Okay. Sorry, right there for a minute, my camera view went out. All right, so let's get this stamped. And what's really nice about the photopolymer is you can see exactly where you're going to be stamping. I'll make sure I'm in the screen. I am. And down. Now, oh, you know what I did forget? Okay, you're going to hear, I forgot to grab my simple chamois. So I'm going to be using wipes today, so you're going to hear the bag. I apologize for that. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this off because I don't want it to get onto, if I bump it, onto any of my other projects. And Real Red gets everywhere. We all know that. Okay, so I'm going to go in here and just with, you know what? This is out of the way. So you guys can't see that. Just to get that, to adhere to the foil, it adheres very well. Just using regular adhesive. You don't need to use a special one. Okay, but we are going to pop this one. So go ahead and get your dimensionals on that. There. I'm putting quite a few on this one just because of the fact, you know what, I think I'm going to add a couple more. But because of that's going to be there to prop up the other part of the card. So sometimes I go a little nuts with dimensionals, but that's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and add 2 more on here. Okay. So, and why did I take that off already? I did not want to take those off already. Alrighty, so what we're going to do is now we're going to assemble the card. And we're going to work on this part right here, on attaching this. So what we're going to do is we want to take this, and on the 3 tops pieces here, you want your folded part here, and you want your edge up here, so it's kind of sticking up in the air. So you're going to do, what I did was I wanted to make sure that these 3 were the same size. So when I got it to where I wanted it to, whoops, dimensional back, I picked this up and I flipped it. And I just kept it right where it was. This doesn't have to be exact, so if it moves a little bit, it's okay. But I'm going to put a little pencil mark right there on the back of this. And the reason is, then I know that my adhesive cannot go on this part. It has to stay on the top part because we don't want adhesive down here. So we want to make sure that it's only on the top part. And it looks like I put that no, yep, I did. I went too far down. So I know to come up a little bit more than that. And then once I get my adhesive on here, I am going to erase that mark so nobody sees it but me. You could even put your adhesive a little bit higher. Your mark a little bit higher and put tape right over it. Okay, so now we'll lay it back down. If I'm going too fast, please let me know and I will slow down. I get excited and I tend to go fast, so I apologize for that. I just love the way these cards turned out, so I'm so excited. And it's World Card Making Day. Woohoo! What a great day to make cards. So then you're going to press it down, and I put that on crooked. Okay, let's try this again. And of course, I pressed it down really good because I thought it was straight. So what you want to do is you want to huff on it. If you put it on the wrong spot, the heat from your breath will loosen up the glue. There. Okay, so I got it off. So I'm going to realign that and make sure it's straight before I stick it down good. It looks straight when I did it, but when I held it up, it definitely was not straight. Oh, see, it's still not straight. There, that's better. Okay, then press it down. So then what we're going to do is we need to put something to hold our paper up, our top paper. So what I did was I did not measure it, but I will say it's about 1 inch up. I didn't sit there and measure that one. Believe it or not, I did not. I just held my card up like this and thought, oh, that's about where I want that. And I stuck this down. That's all I did. Like I said, I didn't do any measuring on this. It's just wherever you want your card. If you want it to go further back like this, you can. If you want it further out, it's all up to you. And there, it stands up. Perfect. To finish off this card, we are going to add our, I keep forgetting things over and up. See what I tell you? It went flying again. We're going to put our gem. And these are the gold gilded gems. And there you go. So that's our first one. You know what I just realized? I put mine opposite of what I put on here. Oh, that's funny. So you could put it either way. It's a great way to show. You could put your little gold up here. You could put it down here. I flipped mine around. So you can do whatever your little heart desires. It's your card. Now, in my Christmas card classes, we do 3 cards of 4 different projects. But today, I'm only going to show you how to make one of them so you can finish the other ones at home. Now, also what I wanted to show you, this one is pretty flat. See if you can see. So my poinsettias are pretty flat here, right? Well, these are kind of curled. Well, how did I do that? Literally, you just take them, and I should have done this before I put them on, but just squeeze them a little bit like this, and they will automatically curl up a little bit, and then you can flatten them. So you just squeeze them a little bit because they have that line down the center, so they kind of bend naturally on their own. You don't have to do this. You can keep them flat if you want. I just think it gives it a little bit more dimension. And there you have your first card. Woohoo! Now, those are pretty, I just did it. So this is one that has been, I've had boxes on it. I've had things sitting on top of it. Not boxes, but like my bins that I use. So it still holds its shape, but it's not as, what do I want to say, pronounced as this one is. So you can do whichever one you want. And on our envelopes, we never send out a naked envelope. What we're going to use, you can use the poinsettia, or you could even put Merry Christmas in the middle right here if you want. Let's do the Merry Christmas on this one. I'm going to put it on the front. You could put it on the back flap. You could put it anywhere you want. But today I'm going to put Merry Christmas on the front. And that, like I said, I'll be changing those around because we'll be decorating all of our envelopes today. So that is card number 1. So I'm going to set that off to the side and get ready for card number 2. All righty. Our card number 2, we're going to be using the piece with the big, long, the packet with the green, the 4 1/4 by 11 green sheet is what we're going to use. I forgot how I had packaged these for you, so I think they might be out of order. Usually I'm pretty good about keeping them right in order of how I package your stuff. But today I kind of messed that up because I couldn't remember how I packaged them. Okay, so this is the card we're going to make. And I saw online someone do this part of it, and I loved it. I thought, what a great idea to put that behind the plush poinsettia paper. This is also part of the, what do I want to say? The suite, the suite of the poinsettias. And this is plush, and I have a couple of tips with this paper, which is beautiful, and I love it. We're going to use it on this card and another card. But with this paper, you can only cut one sheet at a time. So usually when I'm cutting these, because I have a big cutter, I can cut up to 12 sheets at a time. You definitely cannot do I would not recommend doing even 2 sheets at a time, just because of with the plush, it moves a little bit. And your cutter is going to get really dusty from the fuzzy on this. All I did was take like an air thing, or I blew on it and got all the dust off of it. So it comes off easy, but you are going to see that. So I just don't want you to be surprised when you go to use this paper. Okay, I do not have the measurements. Oh, here they are. I forgot to grab them. Okay. So on this card, what you're going to be using is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. The plush paper here, this is 4 by 5 1/2. All of our papers are going to go from top to bottom. They won't be going, usually we have like a border around all the way. This time you're only going to have your borders on your sides. That's our envelope. This piece of white is 4 by 5 1/4, and this is going to go on the inside of our card. Then you're going to have your skinny white, as I call it, and this one is 3 1/2 by 5 1/2. Your real red is going to be 3 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then I just used a 2-inch punch for the circle out of shaded spruce, and this is also shaded spruce. And then with our sprig punch, I punched out a white, a red, and a silver. And then with this one, I cut this white at, where did I put it? At 3/4 by 4 inches. And then I used our new banner tag punch, I think. Banner, it's in the new catalog. I'm sorry, did I write this down? Let me look. I did not write it down. Oh, Lovely Labels Pick-a-Punch. That's what this is called. Lovely Labels Pick-a-Punch. So I totally messed up that name. Alrighty. So I think what we're going to do first is we're going to do our, let's do our stamping first, actually. let's do that first. So what you need is your big white piece of paper, and you need your skinny white that I had already punched out on the sides with. Let me move that up there. We're going to use real red on this. We're going to be using Merry Christmas, and we're going to be using our poinsettia for our envelope, and we are going to be using May the Magic and Wonder Bloom this holiday for the inside of our card. So those are the 3 stamps that we're going to be using. Oh, you can't see them. Might help if I lower them down so you can see them. There we go. Okay, so on our first one, we are going to be using the inside. We're going to do the inside of the card. And we're going to use May Magic and Wonder Bloom this holiday. I just got red there, so we're going to go ahead and flip this over. And I have red ink somewhere on me. Oh, there it is. Okay. Let me ink that up again. And I just put mine in the center. You can put it higher, lower, whatever you want. Perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and clean that off. All right, so then we can move that off to the side. We're going to take our sentiment, our long skinny piece, and I line it up on my grid paper so that way I know it's straight. And we're also going to be doing it, whoops, in the real red again. So I'm just going to line this up. Now, if I was doing this in, without the camera, I'd be able to look right over it and see it. That's pretty straight. You know what? I'm going to try it on the other side. But with all my lights and my camera above me, I can't lean over it like I usually do. But I think I have to stand on my tippy toes and do it. There we go. That's better. Last weekend, I had my holiday extravaganza online, and I was standing on my tippy toes to do a lot of the stamping again because my camera was in the way. And it was so funny. I was getting cramp in my foot. Oh my gosh, we were laughing so hard. It was funny. All right, so now let's do our envelope too, because we always want to decorate our envelope. And I'm just going to do 1 poinsettia here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink it up again, and I'm going to twist it a little bit. So I had this one right here, and I don't know if you can see it, but I put a mark on my stamp just so I could have, that was my, well, okay, that's going to be on the top. So whether I was going to be stamping and cutting or like this, okay, it went here. I need to move it over a little bit. So that's why I made a mark. I just used a Sharpie. That was strictly for me. So what I'm doing is I had stamped it like that. I'm going to twist it like this just a little bit because we want to fill in those spots. And what I do too is I just try to center, line it up in the center. And there you go. And then so you have your poinsettia on there. Now, if you don't get it perfectly lined up, don't worry about it because you know what? There's no perfect flower in the world. It gets moved. Their petals are a little bit different. It's okay. And when I first started, I'd be going, no, I gotta redo it. Now I'm like, nope, it's good. It's all good. Okay, put that one off to the side. Let's go ahead and assemble our card now. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna burnish this one. I'm gonna put fold it in half and use my bone folder to make sure I have a good crease there. I'm going to put my inside in now because then I know that section is done. I don't have to worry about that. And remember my 3 side rule. Make sure all 3 sides are the same distance. You have the same amount of border. Stick your finger here, drop it, and it's going to automatically be centered, and you're ready to go. So there's a couple tricks I have for you for this paper. So what I'm going to have you do is we'll stick the little pieces off to the side in sentiment. Go ahead and put your red on your white first. Now remember, they're going to go, it's going to be the same length. You're just going to have a little bit border on the side. Now I'm just laying it down. I'm not adhering it tight. I'm laying it down. I'm going to turn, look at it. It needs a little bit of adjusting. Because I didn't push it down, it's coming off quite easily to adjust a little bit. But I just needed to adjust the top a little. There we go. And push it down. And there you have that piece. Now, you can go ahead now and adhere this piece to here, to your green. Whoops. Oh, come on. There we go. Again, we're just going to center this. I always turn my project sideways when I'm trying to center. And put it down. Now, this is when you can go flip it over and see if yours is hanging over a little bit. Mine's hanging just a little. I'm going to go ahead and trim that. Let me get my big scissors. I like the bigger scissors for this, but you can definitely use your paper shear, your paper snips, and just trim that off if you want. If it doesn't bother you, you don't have to. Okay, now there is a trick to putting this paper on. And you can look and see how you want to put your paper. I'm looking here and I have two pretty big poinsettias. So I'm going to put those at the top. So they're going to go on like this. But this is a perfect card to show you what not to do. On here, and I'm hoping you can see it. Oh, you can on the camera. See right here? You're seeing my adhesive here. You don't want to do that. So you want to put your adhesive behind the fuzzy part. So when you flip it over, I laid mine, what I did is this. I flipped my card over so I could see. Because if I put it white on white, I can't see. So I went ahead and put it on here. Now you can use this adhesive or you can use glue dots. And last night I had this class in person. And I'm having it in person again tomorrow. But what we learned is with adhesive, it works good. But sometimes the adhesive still shows through on the card. But we realized glue dots don't. So today I'm going to use glue dots. Now I always put a glue dot in each corner. And I try to find a spot that has the closest, full piece in there so you can't see the the glue dots. Now we're going to use this type of paper again on another card, and I'm going to show you another trick too on that one on what to do. But we're not putting a whole lot on top of this one, so we're going to go ahead and adhere this first. Okay, so see like this one? It has just that little piece there and I can't get the glue dot. So I'm just going to move it up to this piece and put it right there. And then what I'll do is I'll put another one on this side since I'm not doing the whole corner. And you can really put on as many as you want. It's really up to you how many you want on here. I think I'll put one more right. Yeah, let's put it here. Okay. Whoops. And then be careful because it will stick to you because it has all these glue dots. So then we're going to go ahead and we're going to flip this back over and put it on here. And again, you're going to have just a thin line on each side. Yep, I want my big poinsettias on the top. Make sure I've got, whoops, good thing I looked. I gotta flip it this way. I'm actually going to line up the top because it's easier to adjust the bottom than it is to adjust the top because we can snip it a little bit easier. Or trim it, I should say. There. So then go ahead and push it on. And look how pretty that is. That is so pretty. I love, love, love this paper. So go ahead, when you get that done, we're going to go ahead and put on our circle. I did not pop the circle. The only thing I popped is the sentiment. So I just kind of put it, I don't know, again, I just guess. It was not an exact measurement at all on this card. Yeah, I need my bring back. Now, you can, again, use either adhesive or glue dots. You know what? Let's use glue dots on this one. I'm going to use glue dots. And it doesn't matter which piece you put down first. It's, again, whatever your, as I tell my ladies, whatever your little heart desires. I just stuck them on here. No rhyme, no reason. And I put it on about center, maybe a little bit lower than center. Let's go like that. And then our silver. The silver just gives it a little bit of bling bling. We gotta like our bling bling. The key thing is make sure you don't go over the side of your card. Like I had to move my silver one over more. I was gonna go this way, but I needed to move it over more because I would have gone over the card. So let me just quick check. Oh, hello, ladies. Lots of people. Hi, Karen. Hi, Pam. Hi, Kathy. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Oh, thank you for sharing, everyone. I appreciate that. I always forget to ask you ladies to do that. So if you could share, I would be very appreciative of that. Okay. Yes, one was right, one was wrong. Okay, let's see here. Which one did I like better? I like this. They both turned out nice, didn't they? Let's do this one. Okay. So I just put 3 dimensionals on the back. And I just put this so it covers, you want to cover those up. So I brought it in a little bit, trying to make it about center, you know, on your card, because it doesn't go all the way to the ends. So I just push this down. Oops, tuck back under there, babe. And there you go. Okay, I do notice on this one, with using the glue dots, this is a little bit thicker than using adhesive. So this is up a little bit, but it doesn't bother me at all. No one's going to notice it but me. I don't know if I can, yeah, no, they're not really on, I was looking at the dimensional. So if you want it perfectly flat, you want to use adhesive, not glue dots on that. And then you're going to take your rhinestone and put one on each end of the sentiment. And you have that card finished. Yay! I'll give you a minute to finish that card while I get set up for the next card. Put this one over here. My little cheat sheets. Make sure I have my cheat sheet for my next one. Oh, here it is. Found it. Yay. Okay, now on the next card that we're going to make, which is this one, we're going to get our very vanilla. And I have to tell you something. Last night, one of my team members, Pat, was here, and she's just cute as a button. Love Miss Pat. And she was making her cards, and everyone's like, oh, look what Pat did with her card. Look what she did with her card. I'm thinking, what did you do with your card, Pat? Well, guess what? She had taken this and turned it. So when I make this one, I'm going to turn it, and I actually really like the looks of it better than the one I made. So we're going to change it. We're going to make Pat's card today. So we're going to take out your cream, your very vanilla. This is cut at 5.5 by 8 1/4, and it's scored at 4 1/4. Then we have our envelope, of course. Then we have our soft suede, and this is cut at 4 by 5. Okay, let's start over. We're going to take our soft suede, and we're going to cut it at 4 by 4 1/4. Our designer series paper is cut at 3 3/4 by 4 1/4. And our small soft suede is 2 1/2 by 2 1/2. Our very vanilla is 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. And you have this thin strip, and you're probably thinking, why do we have this thin strip? Well, I had a lot of pieces of thin pieces like this left when I was cutting. So what I did, I didn't do it on my card. I keep forgetting to take them out of the plastic so they don't glare on camera. I didn't put it on here because I just had enough for the ones that sent out. But we're going to adhere it actually right here at the bottom to decorate the inside of our card. So let's go ahead. Let's do our stamping first. And I'm going to show you a little trick that I also showed my ladies last weekend about when you're stamping right onto your card base. So today we're going to be using, you know what, did I use Early Espresso? Or so I used soft suede ink, and I got out the Early Espresso. I grabbed the wrong pad. Let me change that. We need the soft suede. Okay, so we're going to use soft suede. And I think I told you, ladies, Early Espresso, but you can use either one. Because I told you Early Espresso, let me do it in the Early Espresso so you can see it. Because I believe I told you Early Espresso in my email. But we're going to be using this and the Real Red. So what I'm going to do is on the inside, oh, I used Real Red on that. I think my other card, because I always have two samples, I used the brown. Let me look so you guys can see the difference. Nope, I did. I used Real Red in that one too. Okay. So let's change that. We use Real Red. In the inside, again, I use this May Magic and Wonder Bloom. But this is the little trick I want to show you. When you're stamping, you want to stamp your card base first. And this is why. Before you do any, you don't want to adhere anything to your card base. You don't want to do anything until you do your stamping right on your card base. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this in the middle. There we go. Okay, mine turned out great, which is wonderful. But if you make a mistake and you want to re-stamp this, you're like, oh no, what am I going to do? It's on my card base. Well, this is what you're going to do. You would flip it this way and you would put this over it and no one would know you made a mistake. So that's how you save your card base. So you want to, whenever you're stamping directly on your card base, you want to make sure that it is where it can possibly be covered up if need be. But if you have already, like one lady last night forgot to put her sentiment on the inside and she already had her card made. She went to do it and she had a mistake. So what I did was I just cut her a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. She redid it and she's glued it right back in there. So no one knows that it's off. And if you want to, you could also, another trick, you could put a layer of the soft suede and then cut this down and put it in there. And no one will know that there was a mistake there either. So 99.9% of the time, I can fix a card. But there are that 0.01 chance that you just ditch it and start over. So we got that. Looks good. We're good to go. I'm going to crease that a little bit more. Alrighty. So now we're going to take our soft suede and our designer series paper. And we're going to put those on top. Now what you want to watch is, so see if I went like this, it's not going to line up. You want to go this direction. And this paper has a direction to it. So you want to make sure your berries are going up. And look how pretty the back is too. I really like that wood grain on that. Again, cool paper again. You can use it either side. And it's on sale. Can't get much better than that. Now this is going to go side to side. So you're just going to have the paper on the top and the bottom, the cardstock showing. Oh my gosh, I just saw movement outside my patio door in my craft room. It's my husband. kind of jumped there a little bit. I don't know if you guys saw it on camera. He is busy working on the yard to get it ready for winter. Ugh, doesn't that sound awful? Alrighty. Why is this not there? Okay. It's still not straight. Ladies, I am having issues today. Is anyone else having issues today? Okay. I get to show you another trick that I'm going to show you another tip as I'm taking this off. Because I did push it down pretty hard. Okay, so see how my cardstock is peeling here? I'm going to go the other direction. So see my cardstock is peeling? So now I'm going to lift it off from this direction and it will stop that peeling. No one will see that peeling, so don't worry about it. And just put a little bit more adhesive on the back of your paper that you're going to use. And then, yes, it looks all crinkled like that, but guess what? When you press it down, you're not going to see it. Now let's see if I can get this lined up this time. Goodness gracious, Joyce. Well, you're going to see that we're real too. The demonstrators doing these, we mess up our projects sometimes too. We are definitely not perfect. There we go. Okay, we're leaving it, whether it's straight or not. That's the way it's going. It's going to stay right there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put this on my cardstock. No, I'm not, because guess what? I haven't stamped my Merry Christmas. So we're going to open that up, and we are going to stamp our Merry Christmas first. And we're going to use Real Red again. And I just put it towards the bottom. Again, there was no, if you want to, you could lay this up here. Now I'm laying mine upside down because mine has tape on it. So I'm going to lay mine upside down. So you can kind of guess where you want to put it. That looks good. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Now I can adhere this. Make sure your berries are going the right direction. Okay, now we're taking it on and off. This little corner keeps coming up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a glue dot and I'm going to stick it under there. There, and now it holds it down. This corner needs one too. And if that happens, like I said, glue dots are awesome, aren't they? Oh my gosh, I love glue dots. I use them for everything. Okay. So let's go ahead and do our last stamping. And I need to quick clean these off so they don't get, because I have a habit of laying my papers on it. My hand hits it, something. All right. We want our brown this time, and we want our poinsettia stamp this time. And stick my finger in the ink. Okay, I just have to laugh, ladies. This is so funny. I'm just... Oh, thank you, Doris. I am just having a ball here, making mistakes, showing you how to fix them. Maybe that's what I should call it today. Christmas card class, how to fix your mistakes. Okay, so we're going to take our little piece of paper here, and we're going to use our... Either you can use soft suede or early espresso. I'm going to use early espresso because that, I believe, is what I told you ladies to get out. So we're going to go ahead and use that so you can see. Now the first one, remember I put that little mark on it? I'm going to go up and down with it. Then I'm going to ink it up again. And I'm going to turn it just a little bit, line up my in the center, and stamp it. And mine is a little further down. I really don't like that, so guess what? We're going to flip it over. Stick your finger in the ink again and redo it all at once. Okay, redo. So you can do your second piece with me if you want. Okay, I needed to move it up a little bit. There we go. First one. And then we're going to twist it. Now, if you're enjoying this class, even with my mistakes, if you're enjoying this class and want to take it, I will be holding another Christmas card class in November. It will be the second weekend of November. I hold in person on Friday nights and Sunday afternoons. And then my online class is always on Saturdays. Usually they're at 2 o'clock, but today I have a family commitment this afternoon, so I moved it to this morning. Okay, so see, it's a little bit darker than this one, than the soft suede one, but it still looks pretty. If you, like I said, if you have the soft suede, pick it up. If not, it's okay. Use your early espresso. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to turn it this way. That's how my friend Pat did it. I loved it. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to pop this up with dimensionals. And I had, oh, here's my sheet. Okay, and I'm going to show you another trick. If you have your dimensional, sorry, I bumped the camera. If you have your, I love it, Veronica, me too. When you're done with your dimensionals, don't throw these away. Just cut them. That's all I do is just cut them up in little pieces, and you can use them. Now, one thing I do have, I just use these for anything with glue. If I have to cut, like the dimensionals, I use them. Or if I have to cut a piece of paper that already has glue on it, I use those. So I don't get it on my good paper snips. Now remember, this one I'm going to do on the diagonal. There we go. And then I had them laying here. What did I do with them? All right, what did I do with my red? I truly had my red. Let me grab them. Oh, where did I? Oh, you know what? I think I put them in here. I did. I'll grab my packet of them. But red rhinestones we're putting in the middle. And I just put 3. And there you go for that card. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot to put my little piece on here. Oh, I forgot to put our little piece on the center, in the center. Oh, I almost put my berries going the wrong direction. There, and that just dresses up the inside, and then I'm just going to trim that a little bit on the, it's a little too long, and just trim it. And there you go. And that is card number 3. Woo-hoo. Okay, I'll let you guys finish that up. I like it. Which one do you guys like better? Do you like it going straight or on a diagonal? I really like the diagonal better. I was teasing her. I'm like, you made the card better than I did. But I do really like that one. Like that. Oh, you know what we didn't stamp, ladies? We didn't stamp our envelope. What do we want to put on there? I think I'm going to put the Merry Christmas on this one. But this time, I'm going to put it on the back flap, right here. I'll put it right there. Perfect. And there you go. Okay, let me set those up. All right, that's the last card we made. I'll put that there, and I'll clean this up, and we'll get to our last card, well, second to last card, because we have a special card that I designed just for today for World Card Making Day. It's a real easy card, but I wanted to share that with you too. So we'll go ahead. And our last card we're going to make is you are going to grab the one that has, well, your last kit is what you're going to grab. That's one we're going to make. I have our pieces. Whoops. Looking for my cheat sheet. I thought I had them all out, but I didn't. Don't. Here we go. That's what I need. Okay, need my cheat sheet. Okay, this is the card that we're going to be making for our last card. Now, I saw a card like this online, and I really, really, really liked how it was. So, I think I changed it a little bit. I don't remember. But if you see this card online, it's their card. I did not do the designing of it. I just cased it, which is one thing I love, love, love about Stampin' Up. They encourage what's called casing. Create and share everything. So I always say when people say, oh, I'm going to make your card or I'm going to make your project, I'm like, go for it, because that is the best compliment you can give me is when you take one of my projects and make it. And I just love that. So don't ever feel bad. You don't have to ask my permission. Please make my project. That's fine with me. Okay, so with this card, what we're going to do is 5.5 by 8.5, and we're going to score it at 4 1/4. And you know what? No, that looks right. There was one card that I scored really wrong last night. That looks even. And then this one, the real red, is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And we have another piece of white that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/4. We have our poinsettia plush paper. And this one we have like a lacy design. And we're going to do that at 4 by 5 1/4. This white should have been 4 by 5 1/4. And then we have our poinsettias again, and our little piece of paper for our tag, for our sentiment. This time we're only going to use 2 leaves, and we're using these out of shaded spruce, and then we're going to use 2 of our gold berries. And then on our yellow, this is our little yellow, I used Daffodil Delight, but you're going to notice on the back of it, there's paper on it, because what I did was I cut these out of self-adhesive sheets, because when I first cut the first one, I was like, how are we going to adhere these? This is going to be hard. So I'm like, nope. So those are all cut out of self-adhesive sheets. So they already have the sticky on there for you. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to show you a trick on this one too, to do with this paper. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to fold this in half. And burnish it again. So we can go ahead, nope, because we're going to stamp the inside of our card. So we're going to stamp first. And I really just kept using this stamp up there of the stamp set. Oh, is there another one? This is, there's warm wishes from our home to yours you could put in the middle inside, because we're putting Merry Christmas on the front again. So you could use either of those for the inside, but literally I had it sitting here when I was designing the cards, and so I just kept using it. Now you will notice that mine are pretty stained with red. That's number 1 from me designing cards. Number 2, I had class last night, so we were using these stamps. But the reason it does not hurt your stamps at all, it's just the reds are going to do that. They are going to stain your stamp sets, and so will the stays on. Now, if you wash it off, stays on right away, it's better. Then it won't stain as bad. But there was one stamp set. I don't remember if you guys remember years ago, the penguins. Oh my gosh, I ended up, we used those so much in classes, and they were so stained because we were using stays on. Oh my God, I ended up ordering another set just so I had it, because I was going to keep that stamp set. But yes, we definitely I got my money's out of that stamp set. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to do, you can put your red with your white. Put your white on your red. Go ahead and do that part. And you can put this part on, oh, hold on, let me think this through. How did I do this? Yes, you could put this on your card base. Okay, so what I'm going to show you a little trick with this plush paper. So we are not going to adhere this right now to here. And actually, I had a friend that did it. She's missed the white paper, so she did hers with the red behind it. So if you like the looks of the red, this is what it looks like with white behind it. This is what the paper looks like with red behind it. So you can do either one. If you don't like the white, don't put it on. If you like it, go for it. It's totally up to you. But don't adhere it to anything. Just leave it down here first. I'm going to put this under here so you can see what I'm doing here. It gives it some color. We're going to go ahead and we're going to do our poinsettias. Let's put those together. So like I said, you can use the glue dot or dimensional. It doesn't matter. And you're going to turn it. There we go. And fill it in. Now you can go ahead at this time and you can put the yellow on. And the backing is a little tricky to get off. People said they used this was easy to get it off. I didn't do it last night. So I don't remember how I got it off. When I made oh, yep, they just used my nails. And it came right off. And when it comes off, see, it'll take the little circles, the little dots out with it. So then you don't have those all over your floor either. So, and then someone with your kits, I don't know if you got one already on your flower. It's because the backing, when I took it off, when I was cutting, came off right away. So I just stuck it on the flower. So some of you might already have your yellow flower on your project. On the poinsettia. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to pop this one up. Let's see here. I'll use this one. Whoops. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this on this base. We're going to do all of it first on our plush paper. So I'm going to go ahead and put this, and I put one of the stems kind of in the corner is what I was trying to do. Let's see, I think I used this one, yes. So just put that in there in the corner. Now I'm going to move this up a little bit because I need to put adhesive on this and this one. And then we got to put adhesive on our two green pieces. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna rub that. Now I had adhesive on here and literally it rubbed right off. So I'll bring this down to make sure you guys can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to add these first. I'm going to put one up here. And I just kind of lift this up. Whoops, and stick it in there. And I want to put my green ones on here first. So I'll put my big one here. Then my little one. And then I'm going to add this one. Whoops. And one nice thing too about not just putting your dimensional in the middle, I can literally lift it up like I just did to stick it underneath. So it's easier to get under there. I actually think I want this one in a little bit more. So I'm going to turn this way. Lift that up and stick it in a little bit further. There we go. I like that better. So I'm going to turn it around. There. Now I'm going to press it down because I like how it looks. So I'm going to go ahead now and we're going to stamp our Merry Christmas. And we're going to use the red. Now this one is good. It does pretty much, you're going to go from end to end with this one. Oh, I don't like how that's stamped. Let's do that again. I think I need to re-ink my Real Red ink pad. Oh, better. Okay. And then let's also go ahead and do our envelope. And with that one, I want to do the poinsettia. Here's my envelope. I just put it in the corner. Whoops, and I bet you couldn't see that. I watched a lady yesterday and she scored her project so hard, her scoring tool almost went through her paper. Oh, that's not good. And when you're doing, if you're using the scoring tool that we have, the stylus that comes with it is a stylus, and it has 2 points. So for cardstock, you want to use a little point. For the designer series paper, you want to use the bigger point end of it, because you just want it to gradually, you know, and don't press real hard. But that would be, oh my goodness. And I've done that before. I've definitely done that where I've ripped my paper because I pushed too hard. But that's why they have the 2 different sizes on the ends, is because of, to use with cardstock and with designer series paper. So go ahead and we're going to put dimensionals on this. I need to cut another little piece. When I start out, I have this whole area so nicely organized. And when I'm done, if you saw the mess that I have going around here, you would be like, oh my goodness. Oh, you can't even see my card. I'm sorry, ladies. I wasn't paying attention. I was too busy creating. I wasn't paying attention to that. All right. All right, so we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to stick this here. Again, there was no rhyme or no reason. Just put it on here. Oh, this one I kind of actually tucked under. I kind of like that, with it tucked underneath the flower like that. So this is my trick for you. Again, we don't want the paper to show, our adhesive to show through on this. So this is why I did not have you put this on your paper yet, because we're going to flip this over like that. Make sure that you can see this in the screen. And you're going to take your adhesive and you're going to put it on the back where the flower is, where your leaves are. And I just ran out of adhesive. Of course I did today. So close to being done. All right, we just pop in a new one and we're ready to go. How easy was that? Whoop, keep going. And then on the sentiment, whoops, got to get it started. And then on where the sentiment is, I'm going to put adhesive. Now, then what I'll do is I'll go in and on the corners, now with this one, it doesn't, you don't have big spots on the corners. So I just put it as close to the corner as I could. And glue dots really don't show through. You're going to have to, someone's going to have to sit there and look for them. So we're just going to put little glue dots on the bottom, on each 4 corners to make sure it stays down. But it's going to stay pretty good down good because of the adhesive you put behind the sentiment and the flowers. Now you can adhere this to your white, and it's cut the same size as your white. There, and then just push it down. And voila! There's your card. Woohoo! Woohoo! Okay, so for our last card, like I said, this is going to be an easy card. It's nothing fancy. It's just a card I whipped up in like 10 minutes because I wanted to do an extra card for our event. So this card is, where again, we're using the same paper, the same designer's paper. It all goes with the poinsettia. But this time, we are going to do a thank you card. Because so many times we have gifts that we need to say thank you to people for the holiday season. So I thought this would be great. This is another 2 of our other designer series paper in the that pack. So we have a 5 1/4 by 8 1/2, and we're going to score it at 4 1/4. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And put it off to the side. I did not stamp anything in the middle inside of this one. Now I'm going to get out my adhesive sheet because I need to put the green onto my designer series paper. Look at that, isn't that pretty? Pine cones too? I think that would be a pretty masculine card. And I don't want this tape to go on to my grid paper because then my projects would stick. And you can make this as wide or as skinny as you want. I'm doing about 1/8 of an inch on there. And then I'm going to stick this, and I'm going to come back though, and I'm going to put a strip on the of adhesive on the green. And I shouldn't have, went off the edge. So I'm just brushing it off. All you gotta do is just brush that off with the adhesive off. Okay, and then you're gonna line it up with the edge. It's gonna go right to the edge of your paper. And there. Okay. So now our sentiment, we are going to use early espresso on here. You know what? I bet that's where I got the early espresso because I was thinking of this. We are going to use the thank you for making this season wonderful, or for making this a wonderful season. And I'm just going to, this is a 2-inch circle. Oh, I didn't tell you the sizes on my other paper. There we go. Actually, I'm going to, okay, this one I did in the center, but I'm going to do something. I want to look on the back and do something different. I want to move it up a little bit and just see what it looks like because I'm going to put my bow on it. So we're going to try it 2 ways. This one's in the center. This one is up further. We'll see which way we like it best. Okay, let me quick clean this off. Now for this designer series paper, that is 3 by 5 1/2. The garden green strip is a 1/2 inch by 5 1/2. And the circle is 2 1/4 and a 2-inch circle. So on the designer series paper, you could use this side if you wanted to. I decided I like the green. So I'm just going to plain green to give it a little bit of contrast. And I so did not want to do that. Thank God for the silicone craft sheet. I need to put adhesive on this. Oh my goodness, ladies. You're going to go, I'm not watching this woman again. She is messing up big time. Okay. So I'm just going to put it on there. Now, if you wanted to, you could put this on here flat like this. I wanted it popped. So I'm just, you can still put dimensionals on it, even though it has adhesive. It's just going to make it stick a little bit better. My one lady thought, not yesterday, but at one of my classes, well, I can't put dimensionals on it. It has adhesive on it. I'm like, yeah, you can. Just slap it right on top of that adhesive. So this is definitely going to stick there very well. Okay. So we're going to take this off. Here, I'm going to put that. And again, there was no rhyme or reason. I just kind of stuck it on there. Okay. And then I use our beautiful Early Espresso Soft Suede ribbon. I just love it. We were talking about this at class last night, how soft this ribbon is. And it's actually a very masculine ribbon. You know, this would be great for masculine cards because, you know, usually don't want ribbon on masculine cards, but I would so put this one on because it definitely looks like suede. It is so cool looking. So I'm just going to put that right here in the corner. And then I'm going to trim my edges. And voila, I'm done. So easy peasy lemon squeezy card. And that is our world card making card today. So let's get our projects out so you can see them again. So here is from our class. We have this one. Make sure you guys can see these. Okay, and then we have, we'll put this one here. And we have this one here. And then we have this one. We'll stick him in the middle, kind of like that. Make sure you guys can see these. I think you can. Oh, there we go. Okay. And then we have the one that we just made, our bonus card. There we go. So there are the projects for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you, Deborah. I appreciate it. Oh, thank you, Veronica. You are so sweet. We can see your sample just fine. Great. Thank you so much. Love your cards. Thank you so much for sharing. Have a great weekend. Thank you, Pam. You too. You guys have a great weekend. If you could share this, if you haven't, I really appreciate it. And you guys have a great day. Love you. And there you go. Mwah. Bye-bye.